meditate, maybe? Ever? No? Okay, that's totally fine. So just to give you guys, I guess, a little background on me, I've been teaching yoga for a couple of years now. And I'm going through like a year-long yoga teacher training, and I've been getting more into the meditation side of things and just how that works. So that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, because I think that if you learn how to meditate and learn the benefits of it and can really pull it into your everyday life, you're going to see the changes that it can help you make. So to start out with, what is meditation? Well, I think one of the misconceptions of meditation is that it's this idea that you're just supposed to clear your head completely and not think at all. Like, if it's almost as if a thought is coming into your head that's a bad thing. Like, you haven't met that meditative state if you're still having thoughts come in. And it's actually kind of the opposite of that. So it's more of being able to sit with your thoughts and not connect with them. So for example, if you're trying to meditate and you're sitting there silent, and all of a sudden you start thinking about, I think about my dad and how I didn't call him yesterday or something. So I continue to take that thought to a million other places. I start thinking about what my dad's doing, and then what's my mom doing, what's my family doing, what things should I be doing to help them reach their goals or whatever. And all of a sudden I just start to spiral into this whole other world. That's not meditation. What would be meditation is if I am able to hear those thoughts but not associate myself with the thought. So I see my dad and I think about my dad for a moment, and then all of a sudden it's gone and moves on to something else. Does that make sense? You're almost like a witness to your thoughts in a way. And that's really meeting that meditative state, is a place where you can just be and not be affected by the thoughts that are coming in. Negative, positive, whatever they may be, it doesn't matter. So that's kind of the basis of what meditation is. How can it benefit you? Does it clear your mind? Yeah, but not in a way that you might think it does. So in our head we think, okay, my mind is clear, that means that I'm not thinking about anything. But really the idea is that the clearing of the mind is to be able to disassociate yourself from the thoughts. So that would be what clears the mind means. Creates emotional stability. I'm sure all of you have been in a time in your life when somebody said something to you and you reacted to it right away through your words. You said something immediately that maybe 3 minutes later you're like, dang it, why did I say that? I should have kept quiet. And meditation helps you be able to respond as opposed to react to somebody. Simply because it has you connected a little bit more with yourself. You feel more grounded just in your everyday life. And so in those moments that someone says something to you that you don't agree with, you're able to take a moment, a second, to recognize that that's what's going on, and then redirect your thoughts to something different. Most likely a more positive response instead of such a negative reaction. Eases health concerns. A lot of people use meditation to help control their anxiety or their depression, and not control in a negative sense, but in a way of being able to deal with it effectively instead of suppressing that. So for people that have bad anxiety, meditation helps them figure out what is the trigger for their anxiety. Why do they start to have these feelings, and then why do those feelings keep spiraling into something that makes it worse and worse? So meditation really helps you figure out what's the root of the problem, that way you can work through it. Same thing with stress. Like I said before, it really does help in your interactions with people, but it helps you understand yourself better. So when you're stressed out, instead of allowing, again, that kind of spiral to happen where this is bad and that's making this bad and this bad and that bad, and it just keeps going and going, it allows you to focus on the one thing. Okay, why is this stressing me out? What do I need to do to have it not be a stressor? And then you move on with that one, and then you can deal with the next one. Sometimes meditation has a direct purpose of cultivating a feeling, so you may want to feel compassionate toward another person. In a moment, you're feeling like, gosh, this person just drives me crazy, and I can't handle them. It may be your family, it may be a coworker, anybody. And in that moment, you just feel like your heart starts to tighten up a little bit, and you don't know how to speak with them. Well, you could do a compassion meditation to be able to have compassion for that person, maybe not directly related to their work or the way that they treat you at work, but simply just being able to be compassionate towards them for them being a human, and that's it. other feelings, of course, as well. And then I think the most important one for a lot of people, and I would venture to guess maybe for you guys too, is behavior change. Since you're working toward changing some of your behaviors, using meditation to be a key for that. So oftentimes, if you've heard of people say like, my mantra today is, or something like that, a mantra for you could be thinking about a healthy behavior that maybe you're not quite doing yet every day, and using that as your mantra. So, for example, my mantra today could be, I'm going to eat healthy for all 3 of my meals today, or something like that. Or it could be, I'm going to work out 3 times this week. And that can just be your mantra throughout the week, and it's just a thought that you constantly focus on. And meditation, we're going to do that today actually, focusing on a mantra that you guys will pick for yourself. And noticing how that really changes the way that you think and the way that you behave throughout every single day of your life. And as you all know, it's little by little, right? We don't change our behaviors right away and they stick forever. It's a progression. And so that's what meditation is as well. So how do I meditate? Well, the first thing you want to do is determine your purpose for your meditation. It could just be that you want to relax. Maybe that's your purpose. That's totally great. Maybe your purpose is to start to cultivate a feeling of compassion towards a person, or to start to cultivate a feeling towards happiness toward food, or something like that. Find a relaxed, comfortable position. Another misconception is that we have to do meditation on the floor seated with our legs crossed. No, you can sit however you want. You can lie on the floor if that feels best. Whatever feels good to you. Closing the eyes generally helps because you're not distracted by everything else going on around you. And then just relaxing the physical body, so we'll go through that a little bit. The biggest thing I think that's important is the thoughts. So allow the thoughts to come in, but try not to associate yourself with them. So once you get to this place, you'll start noticing, this sounds bizarre, but you'll start to notice that you're noticing the thoughts instead of associating with them. So I'll say that again. You'll start to notice that you're noticing the thoughts instead of associating with them. So you'll see them come through, you'll recognize them, but you won't start to snowball them. You'll just let them pass, and another thought will come through, and the same thing will happen. And that's exactly what you want. But it's okay if you do associate with them. That's part of the process. That doesn't happen with them. And then sit as long as you wish. So I don't ever time my meditations, because if I want to meditate for 3 minutes instead of 10, what's the point of me sitting there for the extra 7? It's not really helping me. It's me defining that, 10 minutes is what I need to do. Well, meditation doesn't necessarily work like that. It's what your body needs. And so just listen to yourself. And then I guess my thing would be to try and practice meditation every time you wake up. So every time in the morning, just practice. And even if it's 1 minute, whatever. Don't necessarily count the time. Just sit there with your thoughts for a moment. And it really does help prepare you for the day ahead. And for me personally, it's my relationships and the way that I talk with people. Because if I don't meditate in the mornings or sometime during the day, I find that my reactions towards people are much different, just because I don't feel grounded in myself. So it's important if you can try and do that. So we're gonna do some meditation today, and if you guys want to finish eating, we can wait a few minutes and then start. Is that better?
Yep.
Is that good? Okay, perfect. What else was I gonna, do you guys have any questions about meditation in general? Or more specific questions about it? I know it sounds kind of hokey pokey. Totally get it. But it's not, I promise.
How long have you been practicing this?
Just the meditation? Probably 5 months, I would say. So, yeah, the weekends are bad for me because I always forget to do it when I wake up because I'm out of my routine. But, yeah, it's really interesting. If you're open to it and you're open to trying it, I mean, it's just crazy how your mind works. And there was another picture that I had up here. Listen to your body, it's smarter than you. It's as if in meditation that you're not even associated with your body, kind of, like your physical body, I mean. So, when it comes to food or exercise or any sort of behavior, it's like, when you think, oh, I really want this brownie. Do you really want the brownie? What is it, who is it that really wants the brownie? Because sometimes there's something deeper. For me personally, it's always something deeper. I'm like, I don't actually want to eat a brownie right now. I'm just having like an emotional response to something else, and it's making me want to eat that brownie. Now, if I thought about it and I'm like, no, I really want that brownie, well then I'm gonna go eat that brownie, and that's okay. But it allows you to stop for a moment and think, but is it really me that wants that brownie, or is it something else? Because a lot of the time it's just something else. So meditation just allows you to like think quickly and revert to something else, figure out what it is, and then if it's still the brownie, eat the brownie, or whatever. You like brownies or cookies or chocolate, in my case of any kind, is the thing that I usually like, so, yeah. Any other questions?
I think the most difficult about meditation is to clear your mind, the thoughts. What the technique, because sometimes I try to do meditation and I'm like, or when I go to bed, my head is spinning. It's like I'm thinking about everything I had to do that I didn't do, and so how do you do that? Do you think about mantra then?
It depends. So do you notice yourself like just going out of control and thinking about all these things? Like, do you stop and like, oh, Sonia, why are you doing this?
Sometimes I do that. Wow, what I'm doing, especially when I'm doing yoga, I'm getting that that meditation before after the yoga. So I do see myself thinking about that and getting to that non-stop.
Yeah,
thinking
well, that's good that
process.
you get to that point. So
Okay.
you could still allow yourself to think, but again, not associate with it. So if all of a sudden I'm lying there and I think, oh, I forgot to send that email. Well, usually when I do that, I start to think about other emails that I forgot to send or something else.
Yeah.
So instead of thinking about all those other things, be like, oh, I forgot that email. That's okay, and let it go.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is, if that's hard for you, like if that's hard for your mind to just let it go, I would just focus on your breath. So start to count, like as you're breathing in, count to 6, and then as you exhale, count to 6. Breathe in, count to 6. So just all your focus is going to your breath as opposed to thoughts.
That's a good idea.
That usually helps, especially if you're trying to sleep.
Yeah.
Using a mantra could work, but breathing is probably
Yeah,
best.
breathing and then
Is it just
thinking about
calms you?
the air going through your system.
Yeah,
and breathing
exactly.
out all your system.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so we're ready to try. Any other questions? Okay. I'm excited. Meditation is fun. I really am. Okay, so we are gonna just like stretch a little bit. So if you just wanna move your chair out away from the table, we're just gonna start to relax our upper body especially, but legs can go wherever they want. So if you wanna cross your ankles or cross your legs or feet to the floor, whatever feels best. And then just sit all the way back in your chair, so relax the back. Perfect. Go ahead and close the eyes. And take that right ear over toward the right shoulder. Just starting to feel that left side of the neck open up. At the same time, starting to press that left shoulder towards the floor. Just nice and slow, nice and easy. May not be a very big movement, that's okay. Breathing in and out through the nose. And on that next inhale, letting the chin roll all the way to the chest and just holding it there for a little bit. Noticing the back of the neck opening up. Feeling the spine. And just moving your awareness vertebra by vertebra all the way down the spine into the tailbone. Letting the breath move all the way into the belly. Not necessarily trying to control the breath, but just letting it be what it is. And then on that next inhale, taking the left ear to the left shoulder. Feeling the right side of the neck open up. And nice and easy, pressing that right shoulder towards the floor. off to the side of your chair here, so kind of holding the edge of the chair with the right hand. And then lifting that left arm straight up towards the ceiling. Really pulling that hand away from the shoulder, nice and easy. Taking a deep breath in, reach up. And as you exhale, start to reach all the way over toward the right side, feeling that left side body open up. Perfect, good. Nice big reach over. Keep that breath moving nice and easy. On that next inhale, bringing it back to the center. Left arm is going to go down to the chair, right arm reaches straight up towards the ceiling, big reach up. Taking a deep breath in, reach, and on that exhale, reach all the way over to the left side. Feel that right side body open up. Fingertips through the upper arm, into the shoulder, the side, maybe even into that hip. And as you inhale, just let that breath move all the way through the right side, letting it expand a little bit. And on that next inhale, bringing it back to center and dropping that arm back down to the chair. You can take the hands just on top of the thighs, palms facing down or up, doesn't necessarily matter. And keeping the eyes closed here, just start to notice the breath. Maybe it's short and shallow, maybe it's long and deep. Whatever it is though, just letting it be. And noticing if you can just be 5 to 10% more comfortable. Maybe uncrossing the legs, relaxing the shoulders, whatever you need to do, and just settling into that space. Noticing the top of the head, the crown of the head, any sensations that are going on there. Noticing the forehead, the spaces behind the eyes, the spaces behind the ears, the jaw extending all the way into the chin. Maybe opening the mouth to relax the jaw if that feels okay. Noticing the throat, the collarbones, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the fingers, spaces between the fingers, palm of the hand, the wrists, the elbows, shoulders, collarbones, the chest or the heart space, belly button, the hip bones, the knees, the ankles, the toes, and all of the spaces between the toes, tops of the feet, ankles, knees, hip bones, belly button, and bringing it back to the heart space. Allowing the shoulders to open up, drop down a little bit. And just keeping that breath right in the chest. Letting the chest open up and expand with each inhale. And with each exhale, just relaxing the body completely. Taking a moment to think about a mantra that fits well for you and stating it in the present tense. So an example may be, I am healthy, or I am happy. Something that resonates with you. And turning it into a present tense sentence. Finding that mantra chair underneath you. The forehead and the spaces behind the eyes. Taking that right ear to the right shoulder. And left ear to the left shoulder. Chin to the chest. Noticing the back of the neck, the spine extending all the way to that tailbone. Nice and easy, start to lift that head all the way back up. And then just nice and easy, opening up the eyes, looking at the floor or the table in front of you. Just fluttering the eyes a little bit, just letting the light come in, colors and shapes. And then just slowly start to lift your gaze. Thoughts, feelings, questions? So the mantras are interesting because you really can start to embody whatever it is that you're thinking about. So if you're thinking I'm happy, it's not a fake happiness that starts to cultivate yourself. I mean, it's genuine, it's real. And so being able to use this tool for if it's a behavior that you're trying to change or just a genuine feeling or feeling toward another person, the first step is just coming back to your breath. So as opposed to reacting and going and grabbing that piece of food that maybe you don't necessarily need for your body right now or yelling at somebody or whatever it may be, just focusing on your breath for a moment, you can meditate for a second and then that entire outlook and perspective is shifted. So, any questions? Did you guys like it? Is it different? Yeah. Well, if you can do it in the mornings or even before you go to bed at night or something like that, just try and practice it and see if that works for you.
Kelsey, when Kelsey spoke about mantras and how we move that into maybe, something else, if you're not quite able to just let a thought pass, I started doing this a couple of years ago before I went to bed, but I made it like a thankfulness. And it's really amazing to me, just being thankful and taking a few moments. Although I am concentrating on a thought, I'm also allowing my body to relax in the same way that I might need a couple more years before I can let a thought pass. But you can go to sleep, because you're thinking the positive thoughts. You're in control of your thoughts, and you're aware of your body's reaction to a positive thought versus a negative thought, or just thoughts that race.
Totally.
Right?
The other thing for sleep too is it's called Yoga Nidra, Nidra, and sometimes that's basically to help you fall asleep. And there's different meditations that you can find on YouTube or something similar. I found one, I can send it to Sonia, it's free, and it's fantastic. It's 20 minutes long, but I haven't made it past minute 7, ever, because I always fall asleep. And so there's been a few, I don't know why, I haven't figured out why, if it's anxiety or what, but there's been a few nights where I'm like, oh my gosh, why can I not fall asleep? And I put that on and it's amazing. So I can send that to you if you want to send that out, because it's awesome. I got my mom started using it. Yeah,
That's
she loves it too. So
How many of you do have problems falling asleep? Yeah. And how do you cope with that?
I don't sleep.
oh.
Usually when I have trouble sleeping, it's something physical.
Physical,
Yeah.
like pain.
Not necessarily pain, but if I'm aware of my sleep schedule and what I normally get in a day. And if I wake up late in the day, then I have a hard time getting back to sleep at night. So I just make an effort to try and keep on a straight schedule as far as sleeping.
We do.
Sundays are sometimes an issue for me for that, so.
Sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night usually because my husband's snoring. Then have a real hard time falling asleep. And I found just counting, just breathing and counting, helps me fall back asleep. Just, 1, 2, 1, 2, kind of my breath. That really helps.
I do the counting thing, and my mom told me to check is just try and travel to somewhere, like as you're driving. So you like name all the places and stuff. That's what I do. But it's hard when sorority girls come in at 3 o'clock in the morning screaming their heads off.
Yeah, that's, yeah, when you look at the clock, it's like, oh, 3 o'clock, I have to wake up at 6.
And I'm really too lazy to get up and yell at them, so.
That's good, Paula, it's good.
I know it's a good thing. I know it's a good thing that I don't get up, but.
I use relaxing music too.
Relaxing music, that helps.
I never have trouble sleeping. The last time I had trouble sleeping was when my mom was in hospice, and obviously I was kind of whacked out. But as long as I get enough exercise, boom, I sleep like a baby.
How many hours do you sleep then?
7.
7. What about you,